and good morning from a very dark car park here at Southton Park and Ride. I've just come into the station up there, Digby and Southton, and I'm just walking over because today I'm on my way to Inverness, and the second leg after that short train ride is to pick up the Falcon bus, which will take me to Bristol Airport. The Falcons run between Plymouth and Bristol, calling at various points and effectively serving people like me who need to get to the airport. So it's October, and I've got an American football competition going on in Aberdeen, so I thought, hey, let's fly up to Inverness and then muck around up there for a couple of days before the American football starts. So do join me and we'll see how it goes. I've been tracking the bus from Plymouth on the app, and it rolls in pretty much on time to meet the four of us who are stood in the dark by the roadside. And after one more pickup in Exeter, we are back on the M5. Now, there's not a lot to see at the moment, but it does look like there will be a very nice sunrise. At every junction along the motorway, we drop off to the pickup points, and as it's getting lighter, let's have a look at the interior. I chose the seat which is by the emergency exit, which has massive legroom, and my jacket will happily hang on the seat back coat hook. The seats themselves, well, they're okay for a 2-hour ride, and they do come with a little bit of recline. And once off the motorway, we cut across country on the A38, heading for the airport. It's definitely a slower trip compared to driving yourself to the airport, but it is a pretty relaxed way of making the journey. I bought my ticket online about a week in advance for £12, and I think that represents pretty fair value for a direct service over this distance in this level of comfort. The last part of the journey did start to drag a bit, but eventually the bus pulls into Bristol Airport. I was aware that they are remodelling the airport, so I did wonder where the bus would now be dropping us off, because they used to drop you off right outside the departures. Blimey, this really is a bit of a round the houses route. I've since seen a drawing of the new facilities, and I think there will be a much better bus station on this site when it's finally completed. For now though, there's nothing for it but to grab my American football kit bag and then negotiate the temporary route up to departures. I really would not fancy waiting here in the pouring rain, but there does seem to be some kind of hut doubling as a waiting room for now. And here we go, following the way markers on a rather long route through the car park and then up the old staircase. And at the top, here's the terminal. And even from the outside, I think Bristol Airport gives the impression of a pretty decent regional airport. Well, usually on trips such as these, I'm hand luggage only, but with my kit, I've had to go through bag drop. Bag drop can be very busy, but the Inverness flight goes out at 11 AM, which is later than many of the European departures, so it is in fact very quiet, and therefore security is a breeze too, and here we are in the departure lounge. The mezzanine design has shops on the lower floors and eateries on the upper. Just behind the steps is also somewhere to refill your drinks bottles, so there's no need to faff about with bottled water these days. Bristol Airport does have an executive lounge, but that's not for the likes of us cheapskate easyJet flyers. I do like to wait up here on the mezzanine level, and things have got quite a lot better now, as there's a coffee stand that sells extract coffee from Bristol, which is an excellent blend. Coffee drank, and we are called on to the domestic departure gates, which are located at the eastern end of the terminal. At 10:45 we begin to board the plane, and it's an Airbus A319, which is a shortened fuselage variant of the ubiquitous A320 family. And this really is looking to be a lovely day for flying. On board there's not a lot of legroom, but flight time is only supposed to be 1 hour and 25 minutes, so I can manage that quite easily. And on the subject of flight times and the like, let's have a look at the route while we're being backed off the stand. It's a fairly simple flight, almost straight north, flying over the Welsh Marches, northern England and the Lake District before crossing the Scottish lowlands with hopefully a view of the Firth of Forth, and then if the weather stays nice we should also get a good view of the Cairngorms before tracking along the Moray Firth and into Inverness. The distance travelled will be roughly 430 miles or 690 kilometres, and as I said, we're scheduled to take 1 hour and 25 minutes. And as we've taken off facing eastbound, my view out of the window includes the reservoirs at Chew Valley and Blagden, which together provide Bristol with its drinking water. And then the plane banks all the way round to give us one last view of the airport and the Bristol Channel beyond. The bridge you can see below is the original Severn Road crossing built in 1966, which now carries the M48 across the water. And it's after only about 45 minutes that we cross the Solway Firth, where the Esk and the Eden drain into the sea, and we are now over Scotland. The Scottish lowland hills are impressive, but I'm looking out to see if I can glimpse the Firth of Forth and its famous bridges. And well, you'll be struggling to make them out on the video, but I could see them with the naked eye down there. The mist in the valleys of the Cairngorms had a mystical nature, which was quite mesmerising. And the peak at Ben Macdui, which is the UK's second highest after Ben Nevis, looks to already have a coating of snow. And now we're past the mountain, it's time to start our descent into Inverness. And the route into the airport, especially on a day like today, could not be any better as we fly directly over Nairn into the Moray Firth before banking to port to follow the water all the way to the airport. So I'm going to shut up for a minute so you can enjoy this wonderful approach to Inverness. And our wheels hit the tarmac at 12:16, just 1 hour and 6 minutes since we left the ground at Bristol. That was a really pleasant ride. Right, now I've just got to negotiate the exit ramps and the airport walkways, and then find out whether my football kit has also made it to Scotland. The original airport was built here in 1940 to serve the RAF in time of war, and it opened for civil operations in 1947. Great news, my kit has turned up, and so the timing is just right to catch the train from the brand new airport railway station. So let's follow the signs and get over there. A lot has been said about the proximity, or lack of it, of the railway station to the airport, so let's put a clock on it. And by the way, 1,300 yards is 3/4 of a mile, or 1.2 kilometres. There's 2 or 3 buses an hour into Inverness that leave from right outside the terminal, and they take about 35 minutes. So I'm not sure I could convince my wife to drag all her luggage along here just to go for a ride on the hourly train, which costs about the same, even if, when it arrives, the train will only take 11 minutes to get to Inverness. Well, the airport already looks a long way away with the orange easyJet tail fin in the distance, but the station is still a ways away. And we're here. Oh, no we're not. this is actually quite a long approach road. And that's it, 15 minutes of pretty fast walking on a lovely day. Does anybody fancy doing that with a couple of kids and a load of luggage in the rain? No, I thought not. Let's have a quick map moment to show this final 11-minute hop into the Inverness main railway station. And here's our two-car ScotRail Class 158. And it's spot on time, ready to depart at 13:09. There are a few cars in the car park, so maybe at £6.30 return, the train makes a handy park and ride, as there doesn't appear to be a parking charge. Or maybe those cars are just people flying from the airport that have twigged on that they can park here for free. If you know, do put something in the comments. And although it's just 11 minutes, the train ride picks up where the plane left off, with some views of the Moray Firth peeping through the trees and the bushes. Inverness, of course, is a major ScotRail hub, as trains from here travel north to Wick and Thurso, south to Edinburgh and Glasgow, east to Elgin and Aberdeen, and west to the Kyle of Lochaelsh. There's also the direct LNER Highland Chieftain to London King's Cross, and the overnight Caledonian Sleeper to London Euston. And here we are at Inverness, after doing a train, a bus, a plane and another train. And it's been a really lovely day to travel. The views flying in over the mountains in Scotland and up the Firth on the way into Inverness were absolutely glorious, and I hope that the cameras captured some of that so that we can share it when I finally edit it. But yeah, I'm here in Inverness and I'm going to do a few trips around Scotland, but that's another story. So from here I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, and if you've enjoyed it then do subscribe and stick along for more stuff like this. But anyway, from Inverness I'd just now like to bid you goodbye and thank you very much for watching.